if you choose us and die for us, we too will accept you. God took that singular initiative. He chose us unto himself, and that choice of having us to himself places a responsibility upon us. And what is that responsibility? Consecration and total yieldedness. In our text, let's open to that text, Numbers chapter 18, verse 15. Numbers chapter 18. I'll read from verse 13, then look at that verse 15. Verse 13. And whatsoever is first ripe in the land, which they shall bring unto the Lord, shall be thine. And every one that is clean in thy house shall eat of it. Verse 14. Everything devoted in Israel shall be thine. 15, let's read 15 together. Everything that openeth the matrix in all flesh, which they bring unto the Lord, whether it be of men or beast. Of course, you know the word matrix there spoke about womb. Anything that openeth the womb, whether an animal gives birth, the first creature of that animal said it must be consecrated unto God. Whether it was the Levite, when they shared the entire inheritance in the land of Israel, what portion was given to them? What was the portion of the Levite after sharing the entire inheritance? Everybody is now speaking like those things are happening in secondary school. Your teacher will be teaching and he will ask a question, some will murmuring the answer from the back. He now asks, oh yeah, speak out. Nobody wants to answer again. So what was the portion of the Levite? The Lord was their portion. There was no land allocated to them. There weren't properties, assets allocated to them. But the Lord said, me, I'll be your own Lord and your own portion. Because he had been selected to play this role. And what is the significance? Are you not saying that since you are not the firstborn in your father's house, you are not the first girl in your father's house, that means there is no call for consecration? No. Let's further look at Romans chapter 8, verse 29, so we can see the work Christ did and how he brought us into the same work and what our own response should be. Romans chapter 8, verse 29. Romans chapter 8 rather, verse 29. In verse 29 of Romans chapter 8, it says, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the first son among what? Many brethren. Now referring to us. The journey begins now with Christ, the first son of many brethren. And when we ask ourselves, if Christ, having come to be the first son of many brethren, and then we begin to look at the privileges we have alongside with Christ, that we are co-heirs with Christ, not subordinate heirs under Christ. So that if Christ is the heir of the throne of the Father, and we are co-heirs with him, can you connect the implication of that statement? Can we connect that? Co-heirs, co-inheritance, co-sharing with the same glory. And that's why even Christ says, for as much as you can identify with me and suffer alongside in my shame, you will also share in my glory. It's what a beautiful plan, that despite the fact that we were not originally framed into this agenda, but God creates a system that the privileges that the Son we have at the reigning point same privilege he was going to make available to us, that we too can become among the brethren. Now in chapter 12 of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23. So we now see the kind of congregation that the Lord has raised unto himself. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23. Are we all there? Before we read it, I want to make a reference to Colossians 1. Just be at Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23. But Colossians 1:15 says, who is the image of the invincible God, the firstborn of every creature. Anything that has tested life, Christ is the firstborn of it all. And then himself gave a visibility to the God that we cannot see. Now, Christ is seated in heavenly places with God. And what's the visibleness to the invisible image of God? There is still yet more, another firstborn. In Hebrews now, chapter 12, verse 23. Hebrews 12, verse 23. There it says, know ye that, sorry, I think I'm reading the wrong passage. To the general assembly and the church of what? So, the church we have now is a church of congregation of which people? So, irrespective of your biological position from your family, before the Lord, by the redemption plan, he redeemed us as who? Firstborns. He said the church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and the judge of all, and the spirit of just men made perfect. And if everything that openeth the matrix, so if he is a head of every creature, the firstborn, and now referring to the church of the firstborn, and we are all the firstborn, what's the implication? The charge and our portion is that we all belongs to the Lord. And because we belong to him and are given to him wholly, we have lost our wills and our personal ambitions on the altar of executing his own wills and ambitions. So if I died the Lord Jesus,